For more on the theater shooting, we're also joined live by Michael Shank. He's the Vice President of the U.S. Institute for Economics and Peace in Washington, D.C. Sir, this kind of tragic shooting is not an isolated issue in the U.S. in recent years, but no one had expected such a deadly shooting in such a quiet suburb when people were enjoying having fun with their loved ones. Are there any special security policies to deal with these situations?
Well, what America tends to do well is react to threats. So in the case of Aurora, also in the case of Virginia Tech shootings in 2007, in the case of the Columbine shootings in Colorado in 1999, police turn out quickly, SWAT teams turn out quickly, firefighters, ambulances, hospitals. What America does less well is on the prevention end. So we react pretty quickly, but in terms of prevention and trying to prevent this violence, we don't do a great job with it. Gun control laws in Colorado are pretty liberal. It's pretty easy to get an assault rifle. It's very easy to purchase as many handguns as you want per month. There are no limits there. And it doesn't require a permit or a license to purchase any kind of gun in Colorado. So in terms of preventive security measures, America doesn't do a great job on that. In terms of reactive security measures, once the violence has happened, we generally do a pretty good job there.
You just say the police reacted quickly, but how is the public reacting to Friday's shooting? And how do you think the government will handle their mood?
So in terms of government response going forward, certainly we could have stricter gun laws, but there's a bigger issue at stake in terms of socio-economic policy. Our organization produces a U.S. Peace Index that ranks states and cities by their level of violence, looking at homicide, incarceration, violent crime, as well as accessibility of weapons. Colorado is in the bottom half of that index, which costs the state and the country a lot in terms of the cost of violence on the U.S. GDP. Last year alone, the cost of violence to the U.S. GDP was $460 billion. Colorado's slice of that, or share of that, was $7 billion. So it behooves states and the government to put in more preventive policies. The way to do that, if you look at the most violent states in the country, they have the lowest education rates, the lowest health insured rates, highest poverty, highest income inequality, lowest in terms of access to basic services, low participation rate in terms of in the labor force, and low social capital. So in terms of socioeconomic policy going forward to be more preventive of violence, that's where the government and the state should invest.
Thank you very much. That was Michael Shank. He is the Vice President of the U.S. Institute for Economics and Peace in Washington, D.C. You're watching CCTV News. Also, top stories to come here on this program.